Hi, Ghosties. I'm Macy.
And I'm Natalie.
And today we have a very special Listener Stories episode. Today we are doing our very first collab.
It feels weird.
It does. We usually don't venture out of our own little bubble here. So this was exciting and fun. And it's with someone that I know you guys are going to love. Half of you have been commenting saying that we needed to collab with them anyway.
Yeah. So
today we are talking with Sabrina and Corrine of Two Girls, One Ghost.
woo, 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 woo.
Yes, their podcast is so much fun. They do what we do. They talk about ghosts all the time. And it was a really exciting and fun conversation. I had so much fun recording it. They were really great and had a couple of really scary stories there at the end too.
We did. And it was so fun. And they made it so not scary because we were both like, we came into it, y'all know us, terrified.
Yeah.
We were talking to other people. We're outside of this room. It felt like we were in the room, but it just felt different.
Yeah. And we were recording in where we usually go live. So it's a different background. But yeah, they were comforting.
It was a good time.
It was a good comfort to have them there.
I had a ton of fun, and I hope everybody else has fun with it too, because I really did.
We went on their feed and they came on our feed. So after you're done watching this, make sure you go ahead and check out Two Girls, One Ghost. They're everywhere that we are, and listen for our episode as well. It came out today, the same day. So without further ado, we hope you enjoy our conversation with Sabrina and Corrine of Two Girls, One Ghost. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Well, we're so excited that y'all are here with us.
Our spooky sisters.
Yes. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to mention our tea first because we have tea every episode. I know y'all said y'all were going to get some tea, or maybe.
We
got
committed.
some.
We have tea. It's really hot, so we're probably not going to sip it for a good 35 minutes, but
That's okay. That happens to us. We usually burn our tongues when we try our tea first. But today, Natalie and I have Harney and Sons Paris. It's a repeat tea. It's a really good one.
One of our faves.
I do love Harney and Sons. That's like my favorite tea.
It's so good. They like almost everything we've tried from them is just top notch.
Fantastic.
Delicious.
So just to get started, I know most of our audience probably knows who you guys are. Most people who are listening to paranormal podcasts probably have heard of you.
maybe that would be nice.
It's so nice to say.
Really nice of you guys to assume.
When I first started researching for the podcast, like after we'd started, I wanted to kind of see what everyone else was doing, and y'all were basically the first people to pop up. And so, like, y'all are, in my mind, big.
It's because we've been around for such a long time.
Yeah.
Not because we're popular. We're old.
So y'all want to tell us kind of, for the audience who doesn't know, how long y'all been doing this, what got y'all started?
Just about you.
Oh,
Back in our day.
No, we started.
But actually, back in our day, podcasts were just starting to be listened to. So
Yeah.
not many
So
people
much
had
has
a podcast.
changed too, because now people are listening and watching podcasts on YouTube, which is a newer thing. So
It's so much easier. The podcasting has become so much more accessible. Truly, when we started the podcast, we watched 18 hours of a YouTube video trying to figure out how to figure out a blog to then make the blog feed into. It was just so convoluted, and now it's become a lot more accessible, which is really great because you get to hear amazing stories and be introduced to
so
amazing
many
people.
different people. Yeah.
Yeah, but we started the podcast 8 years ago after 6 years of friendship at that point, where we met in LA. We both went to Loyola Marymount University. We met in the very first class that we had.
We had to do fun facts in class, and mine was I can wiggle my ears. And Corinne's was, I grew up in a haunted house, which way cooler fun fact. And as
but thank God you were in the class, because it wasn't a way to make friends with anyone else in the class.
neither is wiggling your ears. Oh, I want to be friends with the girl who wiggles her ears. Anyway, I'm glad that Corinne said it, because immediately I head twist towards her, you're my friend.
Your ears wiggled in her direction.
My ears wiggled in her direction 100%. They still are. They've continued to wiggle in her direction. I literally moved across country following after her. But yeah, we both grew up in haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
And we just bonded over the paranormal and have continued to do so for the last 8 years. And I feel like we can do it for eternity. Even when we're ghosts, we'll continue to
post in the podcast.
100%. And I will haunt people. I look forward to it. Not that I want to die anytime soon.
I say it all the time.
But I
I'm so
look
glad
forward
you said
to haunting.
because there were many moments where you said you don't care when you die and you
I
could
still
die tomorrow.
don't care when I die.
Okay.
but I'm not like, oh, I could die right now.
She has an afterlife plan.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, I have a plan too. I'm definitely going to be haunting several people,
I'm gonna have so much fun.
even if it's just to be nosy.
Right.
Natalie's always
Yeah.
said that she has FOMO and it would follow her into the afterlife. So she would just be around like, hey, what are you
If I die
doing?
young,
What's going on?
I'm going to be so mad because I don't want to miss out. But if everybody else goes before me, like I can move on.
You know what? This is not meant to be sad, what I'm about to bring up. But my Grammy just passed away. She had a long battle with dementia, but the big joke that everyone talked about is she had such bad FOMO that she like basically died a couple times and came back and lingered for way longer than she was supposed to. And then still everyone keeps like encountering her spirit in different ways because she's
here.
checking out.
won't leave.
She's like, I'm staying. You can't get rid of me.
She's like, ooh, everyone's together? I'll come too.
Good
That's
for
so-
her.
That's so cute.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think I have the opposite of FOMO, and I just want to, like, I feel like I'm so strange by myself, and I know that everyone else is too, that I just want to, like, creep on people
See
in their
what people
intimate,
do.
private moments.
That sounds right up Natalie's alley.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to be an acceptable creep because
Yeah.
you can't do it in life.
That is such a great
Point.
term.
I think I want to be like Dexter. I want to scare the bad guys to death.
That's a good way
I
to
like
do it
that.
too.
Yes, my
Yeah.
whole thing is I want to be able to like walk into a room and know all of the things about everything, like all the true crime cases.
Yes.
I want everything to be revealed before I can actually lay to rest. I need to know.
I'm on board with that.
Well,
Yeah.
of the 8 years that you guys have been doing this, I know that y'all are the most haunted podcasts in America. So I'd love to hear maybe your most haunted episode, your favorite episode, maybe scariest episode. Sorry, that was a lot of questions.
Ooh,
We have so many.
yeah, no, there were so many. Okay, well, how about this? There was when you guys were just on our podcast, I got struck by some rogue
Wax.
wax. But a few years ago, it was one of our October episodes of 2023.
I think it's episode 191, Julia's Possessed.
Julia's Possessed. It was about a woman, Julia, and her possession case.
Yes.
And we, at that point, were bi-coastal. Sabrina had not moved out to Massachusetts yet, so she was recording from California. I was in Massachusetts. And as I'm telling the story, I can see I had like some two candlesticks behind me with like black candles or something. I see smoke rising from my head, and I'm like, what is going on? And I turn around, and one of the flames, it wasn't like one of those tricks where like, you know, there's smoke and like the flame can like rise up or whatever. One of the flames just fully detached from the candle and was up here.
Levitating.
And it happened like a couple times, so much so that I took out my phone and we literally have video of it. And that episode, so many people experienced really kind of like horrific hauntings at some points. And so that was maybe one of the scarier ones because that felt like there was a threat in the room. Like the thing that we were
flame is
talking about
moving.
was
yeah.
with me when I was talking about it.
And I know what case you're talking about because we covered that, and that is such a scary, like, demonic, like, horrifying episode. So for it to happen at that episode, that is horrifying.
Oh my god, I need to go watch that.
Yes.
Isn't that how it goes, though? You were sharing when you were on our episode about how the Smurl possession family case, you experience hauntings or weird things with that. Like, every October, in honor of, like, spooky season, we go extra spooky and tend to cover the possession and really dark cases. And almost every one of those episodes causes some type of haunting, whether it's for us or for our listeners. And this episode's not on YouTube because it's from early days. Actually, we did do a recreation. Episode 12 of our podcast, it's called Dominus. We covered a bunch of possession stuff, exorcism things, and we read a listener story
At the very end.
at the very end of the episode that has haunted so many listeners to the point where like people were getting in car accidents, like birds flew into people's windshields while listening to the episode.
My gosh. I was going to say I want to listen, but maybe not.
Yeah, I know people were getting super ill, but it was one of those episodes that just like we kept coming back to it because people kept experiencing stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say, similar to how you guys started your podcast and only thought your grandma was going to listen, we were that way. And so our first episodes are not our best examples
Oh, yeah.
of our podcast.
Yeah.
But we took that story, we recreated it a few years later and had it soundscaped.
Ooh.
So that it's like a standalone. It was like a Halloween special.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anyone experiencing anything creepy from the soundscaped version.
Okay, so we could still hear the story
Right.
without the haunting.
Yeah. I think.
I'm curious.
I think it was probably like all of the creepy possession talk leading into the story just like set the worst / best.
Just amplified it.
But also people do experience positive hauntings. They're not all scary. Like we had someone who had never heard of our podcast ever before, never even listened to podcasts. They were in their car and their car just like started playing our podcast.
No, their car wasn't turned on.
Oh yeah,
and the radio station or like the radio turned on, but it turned on our podcast, and they're like, we've never even opened the podcast app.
So
we don't know how
weird.
this happened. So like this person found our podcast by our podcast finding them, and so we basically responded to them and we're like, there's some sort of message probably in whatever episode that was that like someone's trying to give you.
I was just about to say, well, now it's meant to be. We actually, one of my favorite things like that we've had was there was an episode, it was a couple weeks ago, and for some reason we were laughing really hard at a spirit named Juan, because I was expecting Macy to say like a scarier name, and when she said Juan, I was like, oh, like that's just such a common name. And for some reason we just like kept laughing
kept
so
going
hard
back to it.
and it wasn't even funny. And then someone commented, I think it was on Spotify, they commented like just a couple nights ago they were begging their friend Juan that had passed away to give them a sign. And then they came to our episode where we said Juan like 50 times, and we were like emphasizing it.
So special.
I have chills.
That's one of my favorite things that anyone's ever commented, because we get things like that, just like, or someone's dog will pass away and we'll talk about like a sweet dog story and they're like, I needed this so bad. That's my favorite thing is like when people find messages in our stories.
Yeah.
And I think with what we talk about and what we do here, it's like amplified too. The good is amplified too, where it just reaches out to people and we're open to it and people can get their messages. Do you all remember what episode it was that it turned on?
I don't.
Oh God.
Someone just DM'd us on Instagram like randomly, and I don't even think they mentioned what episode it was.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm sure, similar to how you guys probably get that stuff, we get that stuff a lot, and it is really nice when it is like a positive thing in some sort of way.
Yeah, like we've had people who are listening and it just starts skipping so that it's only playing like certain words, and it's almost like EVPs in the way that, like, you know, you use
Through
a
our
spirit
voices.
box where it's like scanning through radio so fast, but it's like spirits are using our words to say specific messages.
I loved one. Someone had emailed us. They avoided a car accident because they were about to go at a green light, and I think the podcast skipped, and it skipped to me screaming, "Stop!"
Oh.
And they got startled and
Didn't go.
like, yeah.
That just gave me chills.
Gosh.
And a car ran like a
Ran a
red
red
light. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is so insane.
So it's like,
So we're saving lives.
I was about to literally say the opposite. I was going to say this podcast is so out of our control. Like we are just like here reading fun stories and be like, hee hee hee.
No, I'm like, we're heroes.
Yeah, so go follow 2 Girls 1 Ghost and get your life saved.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe.
Or get haunted.
Or the opposite.
Yeah, we started with
It's
saying
a
people
mixed
are
bag.
getting in car accidents, and then only one person was saved.
One person got saved though, so that's what we have to
That
have
counts.
to really lean on. Yeah, so the podcast is haunted, but we've both had a lot of experiences leading up to the creation of 2 Girls 1 Ghost,
Yeah.
and since have had many and have gone on our first paranormal investigations together too. So
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and we like to say
Yeah.
we're baby witches because we're like trying to open ourselves up to more things, but very cautiously, you know? I feel like even just talking about the paranormal, you kind of open yourself up, and it's how do you put a protective barrier so that you're not opening yourself up to all the scary things.
I'm really nervous. I want to try my tea, but I'm so nervous I'm going to burn my tongue.
Let's all watch you.
So if I scream, it's not paranormal if anyone's listening on audio.
It's part of the Ghosties initiation. You have to burn your mouth severely to be on the podcast, because we do it often. Before we get into, I want to ask about y'all's personal experiences, but one thing I really wanted to know, like my favorite thing about y'all's pod, how did y'all come up with your name? Like, who suggested it? It's so
Okay.
good.
Sabrina suggested it.
I'm like a 13-year-old boy in a almost 32-year-old woman's body.
It's so
That
good.
is awesome.
Amazing.
It was we were like coming up with very serious names. We had a document where we had like 30 like dark shadows, like
Bad sleepover.
but yeah, it was all these different names. And then we could not decide on one. And Sabrina jokingly said, "What about 2 girls, 1 ghost?" And I was like, that's it. Like SEO, funny search. We're gonna like, that's the only way to find any listeners is to pretend to maybe get like accidental porn subscribers.
Like, this is not what I signed up for.
The worst though was I had to explain. We mentioned it at one of our live shows and everyone started laughing. And my parents were in the audience.
Oh.
And I wanted them to not feel left out. So I had to explain to my parents what 2 Girls, One Ghost
Oh, no.
basically is
The
named after.
inspiration. Yeah.
And also I had to explain it because my dad he was very proud of me and Sabrina before we went to a show, and he wrapped his arms around me and Sabrina to take a picture, and he said 2 girls, 1 dad. And it was in the middle of a restaurant and I was horrified.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. So I had to explain it to him. And my poor father, he took it really well and was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Took it well in the moment. Clearly didn't absorb it and blocked it out of his memory, because years later we had to re-explain it to him because he like
Oh, no.
he was maybe traumatized.
That's
Oh, yeah,
hilarious.
I don't
That's so sweet.
It is so sweet.
You went on a paranormal investigation, you said?
Well, we've done a few now, but our very first one was a few years ago, and we, I guess, had like no chill when trying to figure out a location. We booked ourselves at the Conjuring house for overnight.
We just
for
went
our
right
very
in,
first
yeah.
one.
As your first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a private at the Conjuring
Booked the
house.
whole house.
If I were to
Yeah.
go somewhere and like want to be guaranteed activity, like that'd be near the top of my list, I think. So
Yeah, I always tell people this. I don't think that you can rent it out on your own. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know what? Never say never, because if someone has enough money, I'm sure anyone can do whatever they want, unfortunately. But the old Charleston jail, I talk about this place all the time. Lavinia Fisher, one of like the first female
Serial
killers, was held there. And there's just like a ton of like corruption and everything in this like old jail that's now like quote unquote abandoned, and bulldog
Apparently
tours.
it's an event venue now. Like
What?
people, like you can have a concert there.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I went on a daytime tour when I was in Charleston there, and with my friend Mercer, who's experienced a ton too, and both of us were like, this is one of the most haunted places. Like every single room we were experiencing something.
oh my gosh.
And like we were seeing shadow figures running across. Like it was
That's
yeah,
insane.
that's another one.
The one I really want to go to, and I think you both just covered this, is Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Yes, I want to go there
The Creeper.
pretty bad.
That's why I'm not going.
She said
That's-
she'd drop me off like on the outskirts of town.
No, in the state line.
You'll be the getaway driver.
I'll drop her off on the
The
state
state
line.
line.
Yes, I'm not going. There are certain things that Macy has convinced me to like be okay with, but there are certain I draw the
Not with
line.
the creeper.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, Macy, would you go down? What is it? The body chute? Is that what it's called? Would you go
Yeah,
into
the
body
long
chute?
tunnel. Oh, I would probably walk in. I don't know that I'd go all the way down. Like
Yeah.
it's so dark down there.
I wouldn't
know.
go by myself. I feel like it would have
Definitely
to be a
not
group
by myself.
activity.
Even then, no.
Well, if you guys ever want to go, let us know.
Oh,
That would be so fun.
Checking my calendar.
Let me quit my job. I have to
Yeah,
quit my
right.
full-time job first.
I know I wish so badly that we could just spend all day, every day going to investigate haunted
know.
places. Because it's like, yes, there are scary things that could happen, but I feel like every time we've gone, there's also this like giddy excitement that comes with it. Like almost
Yeah.
reminiscent of a sleepover. Because
And
you're
we-
staying up
yeah.
late, you bring snacks.
Walkie-talkies.
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
I would love to. When we started this journey, I was not one to want to venture very often into haunted places, like maybe during a daytime tour, a history tour. But as I've learned more and have gone into more of the cases, I'm definitely on board. Definitely.
Collab part 2.
I was very hesitant going into the first one. So, Natalie, you'll be safe with us.
Okay.
I feel like you said it, but you kind of had like a
A mischievous smile.
Well, because in my mind, I
menacing
was like,
stare.
yeah, in my mind,
Like, I didn't trust you.
At first, I was gonna promise you that you get to be the lookout, and then I was like, but then why would you miss out on the fun? Like, we'll make you comfortable. My mind, I was just speaking slower than my thoughts.
You are
Process.
safe with us.
You are safe with us.
Didn't feel very promising.
No, sorry, it's my tea. There's weird things in it.
I picked a couple of stories out today to tell you guys. But before we get into that, I wanted to hear some of maybe y'all's scariest paranormal stories, because the way I picked these stories, Natalie's birthday is actually before this episode comes out, and so I found all the emails that said like sorry Natalie or most terrifying story.
Thanks.
So I pulled from that.
Wait, Natalie, when's your birthday?
September 4th.
Are you a Virgo?
I am. Me and Beyonce have the same birthday.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Oh, Virgo sister.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you guys are only a week apart.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
August 26th.
Oh my gosh. Well, happy early birthday.
Yes, happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday to you.
I'm also in August,
fun.
but I'm a Leo.
Wait, when is your birthday?
So is Corinne.
What?
No way.
Mine is August 7th.
Mine's August 3rd.
Only a few days. This is weird.
Wait, happy almost birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, how weird.
That
Twins.
Happy
We
belated
kind of
birthday.
are.
That
That's
is
very
so
funny.
crazy.
So many connections.
There's like even more, because for your listeners, there's parts that are not going to be aired that like we just offline have been chatting
Putting
about
together.
and realizing that there's some weird serendipitous connections here.
I think this is fate.
But this is the thing about the paranormal that I love. It's like it kind of has proven that nothing is really coincidental. And
We say we don't believe in coincidences because
yeah.
This is
Me neither.
actually crazy. I feel very strange about this now. This was meant to be.
Okay, well, as an early birthday gift to you, we'll tell you some of our darkest, scariest personal experiences.
Thank
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'll tell one that I don't think I've told recently, or maybe not like in succession. So I grew up in a very haunted house in Vermont, and most of my hauntings happened there. But when we moved to Los Angeles and met each other at college, my junior and senior year, I lived in this one house, and everyone would name their college houses. So our house was called Colegio, and I lived there with 6 other girls. And in our town, based on old laws, technically we lived in a brothel because we had more than 6 women living in one home.
very interesting.
So I lived in a brothel, and no one got paid. So
No, unfortunately.
unfortunately, we did not make money. But that house, we're not really sure if it was like the house that was haunted or if it was
You.
me, but also my friend Marissa,
Yeah.
who went to the old Charleston jail with me. She was one of my roommates there, because there was some weird darkness that kind of existed there. And I've always been pretty in tune, probably just like from living in haunted homes. And honestly, I like don't always see spirits, but I oftentimes like feel the spirit or like feel the image. But this is one of the times that I saw a spirit. The layout of the house was almost all of the bedrooms were on the first floor. And then you walk up to the second floor, because this was like a house. This is going to sound bougie. It was a house like across from a cliff overlooking an ocean. So like on the second floor, you could see, if you squint hard enough, you could see like a sliver of ocean in the distance. So all of the bedrooms were on the first floor, and the second floor was where like the kitchen, the living room, and the master bedroom were. And so my friend Marissa was living in the master bedroom with another friend, Brianna. I had a bedroom downstairs. So there wasn't really anything that happened downstairs. It was all on the second floor. And for weeks when I was up there, I felt like I was being watched and that I was amongst something. Even though I lived with a bunch of other people, like everyone's schedules were such that there was only a few of us that like kind of had similar schedules and were always in the house together. But even when they were in their own rooms, like when I was in the kitchen and living room, I for weeks like felt like something else was there. And the house had windows that went all along 2 sides of it that were facing the ocean. And one of those nights that I was feeling like I was being watched, I was alone up in the kitchen, and I just glanced at the window and I saw a short, like 4 foot tall shadow figure dart and like run across the living room and around the corner into the dining room.
No. One thing we cannot deal with is running. Like, just,
Yes.
No
It was like
Horrifying.
fast.
Spirit.
It looked like a little kid. Like if you took like a 6-year-old or like a 5-year-old and just had them like dart across, but completely blacked out, complete shadow. And I had really bad feelings. So then fast forward like a month. I had already been feeling this for weeks. A month later, I'm in the car with Marissa. We're going to like California Pizza Kitchen or something like that for lunch. And she was like, I have to tell you something. I probably should have responded with a better line because it was very creepy what I said. I was like, you've seen it?
Oh.
Why would you say that?
And she goes, what? And I said, wait, what did you experience? And she was like, I was getting ready. This was her experience. She said, I was getting ready, and she was in the master bedroom in the bathroom, and she felt like there was something like small standing beside her. And then something grabbed the back of her head and shoved her forward.
Oh my gosh.
Like smacked her head.
So aggressive.
And why is
the
the light is like extra flickery right now too, because it's on its last leg.
Oh my god.
You said it's going out and now it stopped.
Well, it's
Okay.
yeah. We're just gonna ignore it.
Yeah.
And then our internet connection, it's like going in and
As
out.
soon as you said that,
As
our
soon as
internet
you said-
started
yeah.
glitching.
Also, the tea is making me sweat, so
Yeah,
I'm
me
like
too.
everything. Whew. Like,
So this is like a big buildup of like a few weeks or like a few months. So I saw this shadow darting around and felt like I was being watched. Marissa gets shoved in her bathroom. And then it's a few weeks later, we're both in the same sorority, and there's a date night. So we all like take a shuttle bus or whatever to this one location for a date night. There's different shuttles scheduled at different times to come back. I came back on the shuttle after Marissa had come back. So she came back first to our house, and she took our friend Brianna's keys to get in. Brianna, super Catholic, super like Italian Catholic, religious, like don't talk to her about ghosts, even though she experienced a lot with us, but is in denial, doesn't want to talk about it. Didn't happen. On her keychain is Saint Anthony, so like the saint that you pray to when you lose things, and it's like a big metal chain. Marissa walks through the threshold of our home, and it's like 11:30 at night, and she opens the door and she hears something drop, and she looks down, and the St. Anthony charm has detached right at the threshold from the keychain, and there's no broken link. There's nothing that's remaining there, but the charm is outside of the house, so it was like it couldn't enter the home with her.
No.
So she's terrified, and she sits upstairs in her room for the next like 50 minutes alone until she hears the door open, and it's me, and I hear, Corinne? I'm like, yeah? And I go upstairs, and she tells me what happened, and I learned this one technique from someone years ago who told my mom, like, hey, it was like a weird witchy serendipitous meeting, but basically like this woman somehow found my mom and was like, your daughter needs to hear this warning and like protect herself in this way, and taught my mom the ribbon wrapping technique, which then my mom taught to me, and then I used this on Marissa that very night. So I like brought her my cross that my grandma had given me to wear around her neck that night, and basically like sat on her bed with her and went through the ribbon wrapping technique, which is where you visualize some sort of like string or ribbon at the top of your head that wraps itself all the way around your whole body until it gets to your toes and closes off, and that's like your protection. And I don't know why or how, but after months of this thing, and there were a lot of other things that happened like along the way, but after months of this like dark thing kind of targeting, it would seem to be Marissa, after doing that technique, everything just stopped.
Oh my gosh.
Was this before or after you guys potentially saw the UFO at that house?
Okay.
Oh, I think this was before. We actually saw a UFO.
Okay, I need to hear this too.
So much so, I sent my parents a giant text message, a goodbye text, because I fully thought we were going to be abducted.
Oh
and
my
died.
gosh,
Like
how
a true
sad.
like this is a bad way of saying it, but like the plane is going down. Like we're being abducted.
Like,
I'm
and they,
going to
because
die.
they know that you saw it and they're gonna come get you.
Yeah. It was the middle of the day in LA. A giant green flash like comes through the windows and like hits all of us in the face. We're all just like hanging out in the room. It's like 1 p.m. or something in the living room. A giant green flash.
So you and all of your roommates.
Yeah. There were like
Okay.
5 of us there. And we were like, what is going on? And so we look out the window and we don't see anything. We're like expecting like a helicopter or like, I don't know, an explosion. Like something obviously had to have happened.
Yeah.
There's nothing. We look out to the ocean, and there are 2 lights just like hovering above the ocean, and they're not moving. And the planes come into LAX right there, but like that is not where the planes are.
And they don't hover over the ocean like
No.
that. Yeah.
No, they're staying put. And then we're all out like on the balcony, and someone goes, oh my God, look. And to the left of us, maybe like, I don't even know, it's hard to visualize distance because like we could see the details. It was like maybe a half a mile to like a mile away, hovering 50 feet above the houses, was a giant black, like typical shaped UFO. It looked like the ones that people draw that are like the silver ones, but it was black, and there were a bunch of lights, and it was completely still and just there. And my roommate Taylor, she was a film major, and she like ran to go get her camera, and I was begging and pleading with her, like, do not take video footage. If you do, we are for sure getting abducted.
Oh my god.
And then one of our friends, Angelica, she like arrived to come to our house at that time, and so she's getting out of her car, and we are screaming bloody murder like from on top of the balcony. Run! Run! Like screaming at her, and she's panicked and like slow motion, like Scooby-Doo running, like where you're so scared you can't actually like move.
Yeah.
And she's like trying to get in the house. And then she comes up and we're like, there's a freaking UFO. And we're all watching this UFO for like a good 5 minutes. It was a long, long encounter. And then one of the times we look back, it's just gone, completely gone. And we look back out to the ocean and it has joined the other lights.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, but so that was after your first experience.
I think it was after the other one.
Because I was wondering if they were connected, but no.
That is so when you say lights, was it like lights all around? Like the edge of the thing? Like kind of like Betty and Barney Hill where they had the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of. But it was also daytime, so it was kind of hard to see like exactly where they were. Like I didn't, like it was clear that there was like some sort of light source, but not entirely clear like how it was, how the lights were like pulsing, or if there was like anything, or really how many there were, because it was the middle of the day. Cloudless sky in LA.
So wild. How long did they stay out over the ocean?
God, I don't remember. I think I was outside I had to have been outside for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Did your roommate get it on film?
No, because I begged him.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the, now I would have been like, take the footage, like
get
quick.
the evidence.
But at the time I was so scared that we were like actually going to be abducted. It was so close that I was like, we're for sure getting abducted. Like they're watching us.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Was that like
But you're still with us.
the green flash was like a scan? Like they were like checking to see who was there?
Maybe. Oh, I never really thought about what the green flash was after the fact, because I just got kind of blinded by the fact that there was a giant UFO.
Giant craft.
like classic looking UFO above the house.
That is so scary.
So those were my scariest, like, of the college aged years.
And there are way more, I would say, scarier experiences from your childhood years.
Yeah, we'll save this for another time.
Yeah. Okay. I could just sit and listen to you tell your stories all day.
Oh, me too. And I feel like every time Corinne tells her encounters, I hear a new story because they're countless.
I forget.
Do you have that many?
Well, we do have like on our feed, because we have had so many and we realized we were kind of like trickling them throughout our podcast. We do have I think I have a 3-part Corinne special and you have a 2-part Sabrina special where we like
I think
try
I have
to
a 1-part
go over whatever. We have ours like combined all together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to go
in one spot.
I'll have to go listen to that.
Sabrina, do you have like 1 or 2 that stand out like that? Because that's insane.
I mean, I have one that's really scary from childhood. Basically, and again, like on my 1 part of, about my hauntings, I tell it. But my sister was like potentially possessed as a kid, and like I saw it. But it kind of involves astral projection, which leads me to the story that I'm going to tell you. So when we started podcasting, kind of like what we were just saying, like you open yourself up in a way, right? Like even like, I don't know if you've experienced it, but just talking about the paranormal, like weirder things start to happen to you.
Yeah.
Unintentionally. It's not like I actively opened myself up, but it just happens.
No, we definitely understand.
So I think this was back in like 2017, 2018. I had gone to sleep and fully had an astral projection experience where I came out of my body, saw myself sleeping in bed, saw my partner at the time, now ex, sleeping in bed beside me, and my astral body, like, I was like conscious. I was like, oh, this is cool, but weird, but okay, let's explore. And so I walk through the hallway to my living room at the time, and I saw this woman sitting in my living room. Like everything was exactly how my house was. And there's this woman who I've never seen in real life before, but if I saw her, like if I walked past her on the street, I would recognize her and I'd be like, why were you in my dream? Because she was so clear. She basically insinuated that she was my spirit guide, and we sat down, or I joined her and sat like across from her, and we talked for what felt like an hour. It was probably shorter because it's like the dreamscape, I don't know, but had a full-on conversation with her where we were talking about my life. I was like going through certain things, and she was giving me reassurance that I'm on the right path and I'm going to be okay. And then she was like, you also can continue to astral project, like basically telling me that I can tap into these gifts. Was like do you want to see? So she's like, follow me. And so she starts to lead me outside of my apartment, like through the front door, and very much like going through my apartment complex, feels very much like it. And then I start to go outside of my apartment complex, and I start to get like an uneasy feeling. And I hear in my physical body a voice, like a male voice, say, wake up.
Oh.
And truly, like out of a horror movie, my soul sprung back into my physical body, and my physical body went like shot up out of bed. And the like echo of that male voice that had warned me to wake up was still like very prominent on my right side.
That is horrifying.
I fully believe, because I didn't know what I was doing and I wasn't protecting myself, that had I really fully like left the astral realm of just like my apartment, something was lurking and waiting to like take over my physical body.
Oh, see, that is one of the scariest things about astral projection for me, is like whatever else is on the astral plane, like
Right,
with you. Do you think that she really was your spirit guide, or you think she was luring you outside of your perimeter?
I think so. No, I think she was, but I think I just wasn't I hadn't done like the protective things that I needed. And I really do believe it was my grandfather. Like, I think I have multiple spirit guides, right? Or guardians. And I think it was my grandfather's voice. It was almost like he was there to protect my physical body and she was there to protect my astral body.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
Like tag teaming it.
Maybe, but it is kind of an interesting theory that you were lured.
My mind automatically always goes to like demons and
Yeah.
darkness.
She's
So
Right.
I'm
very
sorry.
negative in that aspect.
Yeah, like something
I felt very
masquerading.
positive about her, but now you guys are making me question it.
No. Trust your gut. If your instincts told you positivity, then we will go with positivity.
My spirit guide's yelling like, bitch, like, don't judge me. Like,
She's going to be in your dreams tonight.
Oh no.
But around the same time, my ex was pretty religious, but around the same time, he had woken up to a voice saying like, she needs you, pray for her. And he like woke up again. He was like startled because whose voice is it? And it was not like out in the room. It was like a voice almost inside of his head, waking him up to pray for me. And he like wakes up, he sees I'm still asleep, but he's like, okay, well, I'll start saying a prayer. And he started saying Our Father, and the same voice said wrong prayer. Like almost like say a different prayer like quickly. It was very, very intense. And then he started saying the Hail Mary, and he like kept repeating it over and over in his head, and everything calmed down until he could fall back to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I wonder if it was one of your spirit guides, like, hey, she needs the extra help here.
He did say it was a female voice, so I'm curious if it sounded the same as the voice of
The
my spirit
woman.
guide.
Have you been able to astral project since then?
No, well, okay. Yes, maybe. No, not actively, not in the sense that like even that experience, I didn't do it on purpose. Like it just happened.
Yeah.
But then we learned about the gateway tapes recently, which highly recommend looking it up. But it's all about these binaural beats that were studied and then eventually used by the government alongside Stargate to like try to use in like a military way. But these two beats like connect both sides of your brain and allow you to have out-of-body experiences. And I have done 2 of the tapes. There's probably like 30-something tapes, and like you're supposed to like progress with them. I've had like some really cool experiences with them. I think if I keep doing it, I probably will be able to fully astral project.
Oh my God. Keep us updated.
Yeah, right? I know, I'm kind of scared to try them.
Me too.
I will say
doing it.
the one time I did it, so I have an aura ring, and the second tape is basically like how to make your physical body sleep but have your mental body keep working. It's like a 35-minute meditation and sound experience that I fully felt consciously awake the entire time. My aura ring, after I did it, was like, did you just take a 25-minute nap?
Whoa.
So my physical body actually
sleeping.
fell asleep while my mental body was awake.
That is incredible.
Okay, keep going. You got to keep going up the tapes.
Yeah,
We need more.
do it for us.
I know.
gotta keep
I'll
going.
keep you updated. Yeah.
There was another, I feel like your astral projection, maybe you're anticipating being able to like move about the actual physical world, but like you do go into the other plane. You have done it more recently because
Good.
we had a friend who passed years ago and you were in that space and
Oh yeah, this was actually beautiful. Well, 'cause, I mean, I think dreams are just a mystery. Like, what are they? Where are we going? I don't know. But I was having a dream, and a lot of my paranormal experiences are in my dreams. So like, I've had encounters with my grandfather who passed away, and I wake up from them and I'm like, they're more than a dream. And even to a point where like my dad once woke up and texted me and was like, did Pop-Up visit you? He told me he was going to last night in my dreams. So like,
That's
my dad dreamt
beautiful.
about him. I dreamt about him individually. Yeah. But our friend Liv had passed away. And I was having a dream that like normal dream, nothing out of the ordinary about it. But the dream kind of like stopped and a door opened and our friend Liv walked into my dream and she was like, I'm on my way somewhere else. I just saw that you were here and I wanted to say hi really quick, like tell everyone I love you. And then she kind of like left the dream, like almost like left out the same door she came in, and then my dream resumed.
That is
so
amazing.
beautiful.
We did an episode about visitation dreams, and I feel like a lot of the stories were like that, where they'll be dreaming, everything is fine and regular, and then, well, as regular as a dream can be, and then everything just kind of shifts and changes, and suddenly it feels, it's like so real, and they can see them, sometimes smell them, feel them, and they're right there to give a message, to hug them, knowing like if they're having a hard time or something, and then the dream just continues after they leave, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I had a visitation dream before we did our episode, and I didn't even know what it was. And then Macy was explaining to me like what they are and how people describe them, and I started crying. I was like, "That's what I had!" Like, oh my god. So that's like dreams are my favorite thing to talk about. I have like, I think I'm like psychic with my dreams because everything I dream about, like I know what's gonna happen. I do. I always do. And when people are pregnant, I know. I know before they know.
Do you?
Yes.
Wait, that's like a good
powerful.
one. That's a good premonition.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with dreams.
So cool.
I know. Billie Eilish said it. When we all fall asleep, where do we go?
We'll never know.
That's
Good
the
question. That is the question. Well, if I ever perfect astral projection, I will make sure to come visit all of you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Please do.
Let
Please
us
do.
know. Like, I did it.
I can haunt without being dead.
The best of both worlds.
Oh, can you imagine doing a paranormal investigation while you're, well, first of all, the stakes would be heightened because then it makes me scared that like something's going to try to overtake your body. But I feel like you'd be able to actually truly see all the spirits that exist inside of one of those haunted places.
I did not think about that.
Okay, so you need to go to a haunted place and then do the tapes over there and let us know what happens.
Yeah.
Let me perfect it first. I'm not going to just like gamble my life. Yeah.
We're in here with Ghost Tube, like, Sabrina, say you're part of the podcast.
Is it Insidious where he astral projects and like has to find his son?
Yes.
Is that movie?
That's what
Very scary.
my experience of like the wake up really reminded me of. Like it did feel like there was something menacing trying to take over my
Right
body.
there.
Well,
that is so horrifying.
I'm glad you're here.
Me
I'm glad
too.
you made it out.
Same. Or is it me? Who knows? Who really resides in my body?
You've been different for the past 5 years.
Okay, well, if y'all are ready, I'd like to tell us a couple of really spooky stories from our listeners.
Please.
I would love it.
We're excited.
First one is from Mercer. Hi, my name is Mercer. I've had a fair amount of paranormal experiences. I've always been pretty sensitive to this stuff, not exactly a psychic, but I have been able to see/hear/feel things from the spiritual realm ever since I was a little kid. What I want to focus on here is my experience with what I believe to be a demon. My parents and I moved into this house when I was 8. I have since moved out, but not before I had several encounters that made my bones sweat. Such a good description.
My bones are sweating right now from
I
this
know,
tea.
it's hot. I don't know how you guys do this with tea every time.
Most of them happened in my tween/teen years. I've always felt that there was a dark presence in a specific corner of my room next to my closet. I guess you could brush that off as a kid being scared of the dark, but I couldn't explain the feeling of being watched from that corner, especially while I was trying to sleep. It just felt really dark and malicious in that corner, like something was lurking in the shadows and staring at me. The first experience I remember with this specific entity was when I was maybe around 14 or 15. I was trying to fall asleep, but I wasn't asleep just yet. My eyes were closed, but all of a sudden I felt something come towards me. I immediately opened my eyes and saw a tall, all-black person with a cloak and hood on come rushing at me from that corner. It was so quick, and I couldn't make out any discernible features. It came right at my face and disappeared when it was just a couple of inches away from me. It felt like something was making it known that it could get to me if it wanted to. I shot up and looked all around my room, but I didn't see anything. Needless to say, it took me a while to fall asleep that night. The next experience was a couple of months later. It was a similar situation. I was laying in bed, getting ready to sleep, but I wasn't asleep yet. Out of nowhere, I felt a really awful, evil presence that felt like it was surrounding me. I heard this voice start chanting. I can't really explain it. It wasn't like I could hear it out loud, more like someone was in my head and yelling in my ear. I guess the best way I can put it is it felt like someone was speaking directly into my ear from inside, like my mind's ear. Sorry if that doesn't make sense.
Yep.
It started kind of quietly saying, "He wants you to know he knows what he's doing." It kept getting louder and louder until it felt like someone was literally shouting at me. I was wide awake by this time, but it didn't stop. I could hear this creepy music playing too, like from an old music box. I kept hearing, "He wants you to know he knows what he's doing," over and over and louder until it felt like my head was going to explode. Then it suddenly went quiet. I was shaking and absolutely about to cry from fear. Looking back, I hate how these experiences tended to happen when I was about to sleep, when I was in my most vulnerable state. It definitely felt like something was taunting me. My final, most terrifying experience happened when I was about 16. It was the middle of the day, and my parents and I were sitting in our basement, which was finished. It was like a family room. I was sitting on a chair and I started to get sleepy, so I decided to try to take a nap while my parents went upstairs. My eyes were closed, but again, I was definitely not asleep. I could still hear my parents upstairs. I could feel the chair under me, and I was fully aware of where I was. I started dreaming, but it felt more like a vision since I wasn't asleep yet. In this dream, I was in a basement when I saw a closed door in the back corner of this room. I had this feeling that something really bad was behind it, but I still felt pulled towards it. I pulled it open, and all of a sudden this horrible, evil, dark feeling washed over me. The best way I can describe it is like a Dementor from Harry Potter. I felt so hopeless, and there was this really disgustingly evil feeling surrounding me. I was fully awake, and I tried to open my eyes so I could get up, but my eyes wouldn't open. I know it wasn't sleep paralysis because I was moving the rest of my body. I was using my hands to try to push off the chair. I could feel my eyes behind my eyelids, and I could feel my eyelids fluttering as I was desperately trying to open them. I remember feeling so vulnerable and terrified. I didn't know what else to do, so I started praying. I began to hear that same voice from my previous experience. Again, not loud, but somehow almost yelling in my mind. This time, it was saying, "Jesus can't help you." I kept trying to pray and open my eyes, but the voice was laughing and kept repeating, "Jesus can't help you." It felt like this went on forever, but it was probably only about 60 seconds. I could finally open my eyes, but I still felt this awful presence. I sprinted up the stairs, almost peeing myself from fright. I felt a little better once I wasn't in the basement anymore. Soon after that experience, I got really into spirituality and was able to protect myself much better. I was brave enough to confront the entity and told it to get the hell out. I guess it worked because that was the last big experience I had with that specific entity. I've had other paranormal experiences, though none of them have been evil like that one was. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I love the podcast, and I look forward to every episode.
Excuse me?
Dear God, like, is this person okay? Like,
Can I just say, though, it kind of gives me the ick because whatever entity it is spoke in the third person about itself, and that's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, embarrassing.
Or does it have a representative?
It's like its agent.
Knows what he's doing. Right.
yeah.
Ugh.
Jesus can't help you.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I'm not even a particularly religious person, but if I'm scared, I'm praying. I'm
Yeah.
praying to whatever's
Right.
listening. I'm scared.
Right.
I'm praying.
I'm on a flight, I'm praying.
Turbulence?
Suddenly all religion comes back
Yes.
to my body when we hit turbulence.
Jeez.
Yeah, that one really freaked me out.
Yeah, that is horrifying. Because it's also one of those things where it's like when something is dark, whether Jesus can help you or not, it's trying to make that person even more scared and question themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, make you feel helpless.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because then it has more to prey on. It has more chance, more opportunity to continue to do whatever it's trying to do. But it's like,
What is it trying to do?
I don't know.
Like, what does it know it's doing?
And the whispering and like just like the hooded cloaked figure. It's so creepy.
It reminds me, actually,
Chanting.
Corinne, well, you'll tell because it's your brother's story, but your brother Christian and like the hooded figures.
Oh, I thought of that immediately when you described the black cloaks. My brother, every like 3 or 4 months for a couple year span, my mom and I would have to go in with like literally every item we can get from the metaphysical shop and smoke the crap out of his room because he would wake up in the middle of the night and there would be 4 figures in like dark cloaked hoods I can't speak, but whatever. Like this listener was describing, and they'd be walking in a circle in the center of his room chanting.
Oh, I do not like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
My parents built their house, so this is proof that any house can be haunted.
Oh, like haunted lumber.
Right.
Nobody sanded it down.
A few months ago, I ran into the woman who was the daughter of the person who like sold off this farmland that had been in their family for generations and generations. Not the whole thing, but like a portion of it, and subdivided it, which became the neighborhood my parents lived in. And I asked her, I was like, I don't know if you're aware that there's been like weird hauntings in the neighborhood, because a few doors down, one of the houses that was built like 10, 12 years after our house ended up having to have a priest come over and exorcise the house because things were being thrown and broken, and there's just a lot of activity. And I asked, I was like, are you aware that there's maybe something weird? She was like, oh my God, I didn't know, but that makes so much sense. And she started telling me these horrifying stories about like what was happening in their farm basement, and how there was like a demon who would basically be able to like pick up and throw giant armoires and stuff.
Oh,
So paranormal investigation at Corinne's house in Vermont.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah, but oh my gosh. So yeah, I immediately thought of that with this. Luckily for my brother, it sounds like his experience was actually a lot more pleasant than your listeners' experience.
It wasn't rushing at him.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
And like whispering and threatening, and oh yeah, that's horrifying.
Best case scenario in my mind is that it wanted Mercer's fear. And so it was just threatening and rushing at them and doing all of this just to feed off of their fear rather than to like actually get it.
Like Monsters, Inc.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, this is reminding me, we read a listener story recently where someone was tormented for years by this like small creature who would like
Almost looked like a Muppet is how they describe it.
yeah, it kind of looked like a Muppet, but was like so scary, and every single night they would say like the worst, most horrifying, horrific things to them.
Oh my
But then
gosh.
one day, after years and years and years, the Muppet creature comes back, but has another Muppet, or it was like one or two other little Muppets with him, and it's just super kind all of a sudden. Was like, this has been great. Unfortunately, like I just had kids, I have to retire. And then nothing happened ever again after that.
What?
It was the most bizarre.
Like so insane.
Oh my God.
Right.
That is like Monsters, Inc.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like the act was over. He's like, actually, you know, I'm a family guy now, but
Come to work with Dad on this last day.
Yeah, having kids changed me. Yeah.
This is my last day. I'm giving my resignation. Just wanted to say you've been a great sport.
That's horrifying and hilarious.
That's one of the best stories
I
I've
know.
ever heard.
Yeah.
I love that.
Gosh. Okay. Well, we have one more story, and it is from Allie. I have been having paranormal experiences since I was little, but this is by far the worst thing I've experienced. I've shared the story with another creator, but I really want to share it with you guys as well. So here it goes. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky, and the closest city was at least half an hour away. This story takes place on the farm that my mom's side of the family has owned and lived on for as long as anyone can remember. There's over 100 acres, 85 of it a field for the horses. The house that my mom and grandmother live in is an over 100-year-old farmhouse that I have always, and still, gotten weird vibes from. I never bothered to tell my family what happened because I know they wouldn't believe me and would have said that I was just trying to get out of work. There are also a few things to note before I get into it. I am not a sleepwalker. It has only happened one other time, and before this night, I had never experienced sleep paralysis, and I haven't since then. This all happened from the summer of 2018 until the spring of 2019. I was 17 and 18. The summer of 2018, I had surgery on my ankle and had to spend a few weeks sleeping downstairs in our living room since I couldn't go up and down the stairs easily with my soft cast on. Sleeping in the living room was hard as I would often hear weird sounds coming from the back porch in the middle of the night, and the connected laundry room would often look darker than it should have been, if that makes sense. I would often just try to lay on the couch and ignore it all, but then it got worse. In my house, we have always had the unspoken rule that the blinds need to be closed as it starts to get dark and not opened again until the sun is up. One night, apparently, someone forgot. My grandmother called me into her room for something, and as I made my way from the living room into her room, I went past a window in the dining room with the blinds up. I made the mistake of looking out, and that was the first time I saw it. There was a large, black figure just standing outside the window, facing the house. I don't remember it having a face, but somehow I knew it was staring straight at me. It was far back enough from the window that I could see all of it, and it was too tall, probably close to 7 or 8 feet. So I did the only thing I could think of, and I put my head down and continued on my crutches to the other room. I didn't see it again for a few months, but the next time was worse. I was back upstairs in my room at this point. My room was right at the top of the stairs. It was a small space with an open closet that used to be the chimney and a small wooden door in the middle of one wall that went to my grandmother's sewing room. She would always leave the door open, but I would shut it as soon as I came in. That room scared the hell out of me. This particular night, for some reason, I was going to sleep without closing the door. I had been sleeping for what I assumed was a few hours when my eyes opened. I could hear my dog, near my side, growling. She, still to this day, has never been a dog that growls or barks. She is very quiet and just chill about everything. But she was growling. I tried to move to touch her, but I couldn't. My arms wouldn't move. My legs couldn't move. I couldn't move at all, and I began to panic. I tried to yell, but no sound came out. It was honestly the scariest moment of my life, and then it got worse. My dog went silent and looked towards the sewing room door. All I could do was shift my eyes that way. That's when I saw it. The same thing that I had seen outside the window was now crouching through the sewing room door, standing back up straight before it walked up to the left side of my bed, looking straight at me. Trying to get away was pointless. I still couldn't move, so I did the only thing I could and squeezed my eyes shut. I stayed like that for just a moment before I opened them again. When I opened my eyes, it was gone, and once again I could move. My dog was still staring at the sewing room, with the hair on her back bristled. That's how I knew it wasn't just a bad dream. I quickly grabbed her and pulled her under the covers with me. I spent the rest of the night awake with my head under the blanket, not wanting to risk seeing it again. Unfortunately, that wasn't the last time I saw it. Let me reiterate, I am not a sleepwalker. It has only happened twice in my almost 24 years alive, and the last time was also happened under weird circumstances. This time, it was May of 2019. We had a horse that was about to foal, so my mother and I were rotating, going to check on her every 2 hours throughout the night. So if she went out at 8, I would go out at 10, and so on. When my turn at 2 a.m. rolled around, I remember waking up to my alarm and getting out of bed. After that is where things got weird. I thought I was dreaming, that I was holding hands with the same big, dark figure from the other times, and it was walking me out through the horse field and into the woods. And then I woke up, or snapped out of it, or whatever it really happened to be. I was standing at the ridge of the field. I freaked out and started running out of the field. I jumped the gate and didn't stop until I was in the barn with the horses. I found my phone in my pocket and it was almost 4 a.m. I had been outside for nearly 2 hours. I turned on my flashlight and ran all the way back into the house. I went straight to bed and decided to skip my 6 a.m. shift. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't wake up or whatever, but I'm certainly glad I did. I have an absolute boatload of other stories from my childhood up until literally a few days ago, and I'd love to send them to you guys if you're interested. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy, Allie.
Okay, but what happened in those 2 hours that she was sleepwalking? Like,
I would like to know as well.
I just envision her standing there at the edge of the field, staring off with this dark figure, and it just freaks me out.
Like in Paranormal Activity where it shows her just like rocking back and forth. I hate that. Lost time and just knowing something is somehow preying on you is so disturbing. Did you say she was on crutches?
And the first part of the story. I don't think so for the last bit.
Imagine it was. Oh my God.
Like she just like limped out there in the woods.
Oh, I hate that it kept coming back. And I want to know if it has come back after that. Or if that was just like the last time.
I hope it was the last time.
Yeah, like how did it end? Why did it decide to not continue visiting
and also,
them?
Let's ask her family some questions because clearly they close the blinds every night
for a reason.
Because of this entity that lurks outside.
Yeah, it would seem so.
I'd be doing some investigating on the family. Like, what do you know?
Yeah.
Tell me.
It's a long lost cousin.
Just leading them out in the darkness.
I'm shocked that like the horses weren't going absolutely berserk night after night with this thing creeping around.
Just haunting the grounds right out there. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. I read that one a while back and put it in here knowing that this was a good one, and I've been thinking about it ever since. It's just something about it.
That was one of the ones where they said, sorry, Natalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Natalie, how are you doing?
Not well. I'm usually not doing well after these. I'm usually sick to my stomach, sweating, need to go cry.
Yeah. Bone sweating.
That is such a good description.
It is.
My bones are sweating because I'm always sweating.
Yeah.
And then we're drinking hot tea.
I feel like people should rewatch this episode and take a sip of their tea every time, Natalie, you either shake your head or you go like this.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of that.
She's like warding it off.
No.
I always get a very physical reaction to these things.
It is good that we still have some daylight hours after we finish recording.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if I had to walk to my car in the dark, I would be very unsettled.
Waiting for
right
that
now.
thing in alley at the edge of the field.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is sick.
Well, we're really thankful that y'all came on with us. Can you
Yes.
tell our listeners where they can find you and maybe a favorite episode of yours that they can go check out first?
Same places they can find you. Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're Two Girls, One Ghost.
Spelled out.
All spelled out. Yep. Favorite episodes. I think we mentioned them. Well, we mentioned the most haunted ones.
Mm-hmm.
I really did like the Gateway Tapes episode.
I'm going to go watch that
Yeah,
one.
I'm definitely going to watch that one.
It's very like CIA using this like technique to help people have out of body experiences. And then the out of body experiences people did have are very fascinating. Like literally like people meeting their soulmates in the astral plane kind of.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
So not all scary. Yeah.
I think I have a few, but there's one which I don't remember the name of it or the number episode, so I'll figure that out and tell you after. But it was a combination of some stories from Mexico, and there was the witch's house, which was this woman who kind of in somewhat recent past was basically possessed by the spirit of an Aztec warrior who used her body to heal people and have these like wild surgeries that should have killed someone that would just like materialize and do like organ transplants out of thin air, and people would heal within a few hours that should have taken them weeks. And like
Oh
all
my
these people went to
gosh.
witness it and study it and try to debunk it, and no one could.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was a cool one.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking into that
Wow,
one for
okay.
sure too.
I have a lot.
I'm adding that to our list.
Well, thank you guys so much. This was so
Yes.
fun. This was our first collab, and it
Couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, I was very nervous. I was very, very
Well, maybe you'll
nervous.
feel more comfortable doing more collabs.
Yes.
So this was
And maybe this will warm you up to doing a paranormal investigation of Waverly Hills Asylum.
We'll see.
Okay, yes. So everyone
Never say never.
go check out our collab episode. We did collab with Corrine and Sabrina on their feed. So you can go to Two Girls, One Ghost and watch us hear some horrifying stories. There was a photo in there that was absolutely terrifying. Will haunt my dreams.
And something attacked Corinne in the video.
Mid
So
video.
Yeah. No,
We're gonna
we still
pretend
don't
that
have
didn't
answers
happen.
there. Yeah.
yeah.
So weird.
I'm gonna need to watch the replay
So
of
weird.
that. I'm really
Yes.
intrigued to know what happened.
Me too.
I know. I might do it like right when I get home. Just like slow it down.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is so great.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys had as much fun as we did listening to Sabrina and Corrine talk about their own encounters and their takes on some of your encounters. We had a blast. It was so exciting. We would love to do more collabs in the future. So go ahead, like this video if you like it, share it with your friends if you feel compelled to do so, and subscribe for more. If you are listening on podcast, please leave us 5 stars. And if you're new here, if you're coming from Two Girls, One Ghost feed, hello, welcome. We'd love
Hi.
for you to stay. You can also follow us on Instagram at GhosteasPod, and we have a Patreon where we go live maybe a couple times this month if we can swing it. We do extra content, all good things. So you can go check us out over there, patreon.com/ghosties. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you on Monday. Goodbye.